gubernatorial debate, the Nairobi debate. What do you make of it, Moses?
I think Sakaja killed it, honestly speaking. And I've talked to a lot of people, even my friends who are as me or leaning, and they agree that Sakaja killed it. He was very well prepared, and you know, the subject matter, you know, he had the gist of it. And my good friend Polycarp, we gather, it was, you know, I don't think it was his best night.
Not his best night. Yeah. Kaluma, would you agree with that assessment?
You know, I did not watch it because I'm one person who strongly believes Sakaja does not have the qualifications.
Is that why you didn't watch it? Or
Yeah. I think it is the failure of our institutions that we can watch Sakaja to his face and he's debating being a governor, when we all know, and there is clear evidence, he does not have qualifications to run. So
do we know that for sure?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I mean, Moses will tell you with you know, Sakaja in the last parliament. Sakaja does not have a degree. He's there, you know, debating. It speaks very badly to the failure of our institutions of governance. And so I didn't quite take my time on it. I know them generally, and I think with this corporate, you know, background, they would give Nairobi a very good governor.
I think the issue of whether Sakaja has a degree or not is better left off to the institution that Peter Kaluma is talking about. You know, because you cannot talk about failure of our institution and then, you know, you are bastardizing the same institutions. And I think one of those institutions is the CUE, the Council for University Education, and the judiciary itself, which has pronounced itself not once, not twice, but 3 times. So I think if we have got respect for our institutions, we are better off leaving it there. The secondary question, that being the primary question, is whether Sakaja is qualified. I mean, whether he is going to make a good governor. And I think the Sakaja I know, who I've known for the last 15 years, I have got no doubt in my mind that he's going to do a good job. You know, people come with very lofty qualifications, doctors and all that kind of thing, and then, you know, the issue of applying themselves is very, very important. And I think what was, you know, amply demonstrated yesterday is Sakaja was able to make his case to voters that he has got a grasp of the issue, he's got the pulse of Nairobians, and he really understands the issues. And I think, you know, James, people have come to me before and asked me to vie in Nairobi. And I say, look, you really need someone who can really understand this very complex machine, you know, called Nairobi. Nairobi is a very complex machine, where you've got some few neighborhoods, like where Kaluma and myself live, which are just like droppings in a sea of slums. Nairobi is a city of slums. Look at all the 4 corners of Nairobi, from Kibagale to the west, to Kibera on the other side, to Mathare, to, you know, Mukuru. You know, Nairobi is a slum. It's a huge slum with some you know, some few sprinklings of some middle class and upper class residential areas. So you need somebody who really can apply themselves to, not just because of a degree or a certificate or that, but somebody who can really get a grasp of the complexity. And you know, the most important thing in leadership is that you have to move with the people. And the people, the stakeholder of Nairobi is not me. I'm not the average stakeholder.
Yeah.
For me, I live in Westlands constituency. I'm sure Tim Wanyonyi or, you know, Nelson Harvey can maybe understand me better. But you can imagine getting the grasp of the issues in Mukuru, in Mathare, in Kibagare, in Kangemi. It just requires somebody who is more than a corporate, or whatever you're calling a corporate, something. You know, because even in banking, and I'm a banker like Polycarp, you know, this is what we call corporate banking. It's okay, it's very good corporate banking, but Nairobi is mass market banking.
Let me have a response before we move to the next issue.
Yeah, just very briefly. You see, what we need to ask Moses is whether we need the degree qualification for the post. And I think that is the debate you're having. The fact of the matter is that this degree requirement is in the Constitution for governor and the president. And I think there is something they were looking at. It's not in an act of parliament. For president and governor, it is in the Constitution. And so it bothers me when Moses is saying we should not care about it, yet when there was an opportunity to look at what we should amend in the Constitution.
So you want to say now, Sakaja, you want to say that IBC has and judiciary have erred, that the Sakaja doesn't have a degree.
No, I'm going there. What I'm telling you.
Judiciary of Homa Bay, hereby represented by one Peter Opondo Kaluma, now says
Okay.
Sakaja, I wish you well.
Let respond to this. Respond this one to go from the
What I'm saying, you know, is that the degree requirement is in the Constitution. There may be merit in this argument that you need, you know, competence and understanding of the unit you're going to serve more than, you know, degree requirement. But the fact of the matter is that it is a constitutional requirement. And because of that, you cannot avoid it. Now, number two, Moses, you see, it's one thing to say that the institutions like CUE and the courts ought to deal with it. Where I'm talking of failure of institutions is where you hear CUE saying the guy does not have the degree.
But they cleared him.
The matter goes to court. No, get this. The last position of CUE is that the purported degree, yes, is not valid.
Which is why the matter goes to court.
Yes, now, then the matter goes to court, and this is where I'm talking of failure. You have a ABC tribunal saying we don't have jurisdiction to determine the validity of a degree. You know, that is the basis upon which you're saying so. We don't have the jurisdiction. What is difficult in a court of law or a tribunal, calling the people with the authority to validate a degree before them and then coming with a conclusive determination. What it means, James Matt, is that we now risk voting for a person, then we have post-election challenges. You get it?
So you are a member.
That is why I'm saying.
You are a member of the National Assembly.
Moses, I didn't interrupt you.
JLAC, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee.
Moses, I didn't interrupt you.
Are you here saying that you don't have faith in the judiciary as a member of the JLAC?
I'm saying the judiciary.
Of the Judicial and Legal
I'm
Affairs
saying
Committee.
the judiciary failed in this context. A judge simply needs to call the people who can confirm the validity of a degree, and it be confirmed, not that you open the space for, you know, election litigation, because that, you know, is what will happen most likely. In the unlikely, you know, scenario that is voted in, people will challenge this election on that issue, Moses.
I'm getting disturbed because you know, sometimes we are unhappy with court rulings. But I think as lawmakers, and you know, the judiciary is there to interpret the laws that we make. You know, when we start now casting aspersions on judiciary, you know, it's okay to criticize rulings. You know, I'm very happy with some of the rulings that have been made. But I think finally it is a final arbiter. You know,
Moses, I agree to that. I'm only saying they should be more bold.
No.
They should be more bold.